Welcome to the Full Stack Leader channel, where we unravel the secrets to becoming a truly exceptional tech leader. In this video, we're featuring Faraz Tabibian, the CTO of Wonderment Apps. Faraz talks about his leadership style and how to inspire your teams and peers alike.
Something that's implicit, we come up with a very explicit, measurable goal that has measurable elements tied to it. And after the goal is defined, we set up very clear scorecards to measure the success of the defined goal. At this point, all we manage is the scorecard to ensure that every departmental manager is working towards supporting the company goals by reporting on a very structured scorecard and data points. The hard lesson that I've learned is the fact that your strength as a founder, as the CEO, as a COO, can easily become your company's weakness when you're at the growth stage. And it's really interesting and hard at the same time how you deal with that weakness. That's your strength, right? Because you want to get in and solve it and you know exactly how to solve it. And it's really hard. And it eventually comes down to how you really deal with these kind of weaknesses and empower your managers to come up with solutions around the issues versus you as the leader of the organization and the subject matter expert to constantly jump in and save things. And sometimes it's really hard to just sit and witness this, but long term, it's just not scalable for the leader of the organization to keep focusing on the how. And the second that I shifted my leadership from how to what, I found myself less in the micro of things and more in the macro of things. Communicating an ask in the form of a question. That empowers your team to innovate, and oftentimes it's very powerful in a way that you plant a seed that can grow into something very powerful. That's much bigger than offering a solution to a problem on the spot in a room. So it's all about not solving the problem in the room and just empower your team by asking the right questions and let them come back with a solution. People design a massively complicated process, which results in everyone working for the process versus process working for you, right? And I'm a big fan of simplifying processes in a way that's understandable by everyone and communicated in a very short format versus a complicated flow that is very hard to digest and understand by people of the organization. And the nice thing about that is everyone could do a flavor. They could add their touches and their flavors on top of that process. And sometimes those flavored processes are even better than the process at the very beginning. Coming up with something very simple and let the organization have fun with it and maybe grow that in the right direction. This is a very common problem for businesses in the growth stage that they just have a number of open seats. And it's really hard for them to fill those seats because they have a lot of problems on their hands and it's hard to focus on recruitment and hiring. And nowadays, it's really hard. It's really hard to find the right person for some of these complex job roles. And sometimes it gets frustrating and leaders start just hiring for the sake of hiring and just to make their problems somebody else's problem. The second that you do that, it just comes back to hunt you down in a few months down the line because you'll find yourself in a place that you're constantly in the minutia of things, you're down in the weeds and you're just focused on the how versus on the what. And eventually, I think it's so much cheaper and more cost effective to wait and hire the right person for the right seat versus rushing into a hire. And I think that's one of the other valuable lessons that I've learned over the course of years.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you want to listen to the full episode, visit our website linked down below.